Welcome back to Houston Life. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and one local organization that is near and dear to us here at KPRC2, the Southern Smoke Foundation. It's helping not only to raise awareness, but also to get help for thousands in our community and even beyond.
Absolutely, and they're launching a brand new campaign, and you can help in a really simple and tasty way. Here with the details are Chris Shepard, founding director of Southern Smoke, and Kat Bill, the foundation's chief mission officer. Guys, thanks for coming to the show. We love having you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Chris, I'm going to start with you because I don't think people even realize, some people don't realize that there is an actual mental health awareness that comes along with Southern Smoke. They think food, right?
Yeah.
But there's something so much deeper than that.
Well, we chose back in 2020 to kind of split the foundation in a way to emergency relief for people in the food and beverage industry in their time of crisis, but then also looking at people when they need mental health care. Like, it's a very important thing and it's a very real thing. And it's something that we shouldn't just shy away from. We need to acknowledge it and really embrace it, because the loss of life is one of those things that we shouldn't have to deal with, that people shouldn't have to have that conversation with themselves over. And so we want to get them health care.
It's so true. It's such an important conversation. I'm so glad your work is expanding. In case our viewers don't remember the story, so Southern Smoke Foundation was started in 2015 when Chris, one of your dear friends, was diagnosed with MS. You wanted to help out in some way. In 2017, Harvey hit, and suddenly Southern Smoke's mission also pivoted because so many restaurant, food and beverage workers were affected. Then 2020 happened, obviously the pandemic. Your mission then again changed. And Kat, you stared at Southern Smoke Foundation in February of 2020. Surprise, the pandemic hits.
Great timing.
I literally, when we were like, oh, we're hiring our second employee, I was like, but why? And then it was like, oh, it's Kat. Okay. Oh, now why?
And now what? But I mean, I feel like a testament to the growth in the foundation is your evolution, your willingness to be flexible.
Absolutely. And I think I really always have to shout out to Chris and Lindsay and all of our leadership, because they really allow us to have that runway to do it. And we get very creative because the industry is creative and we have to be the safety net. So we have to think in ways that the industry thinks.
So let's talk a little bit about Behind You. Provides access to no-cost counseling to the F&B team. And this is so important that I think a lot of people getting into the food and beverage industry might not even know that this is out there.
No, I think it's growing, and also just the awareness, the need in the industry. There is a lot more conversation happening now. So we're really fortunate to be part of that. What we try to do is bring in evidence-based services. So we partner with universities so that we can provide no-cost counseling to members of the food and beverage industry. So we're working with the universities, we're working with students who are seeking licenses in counseling. They're supervised by their directors. There's a whole clinical team behind them. So we're able to provide those services by partnering with universities. And it's totally available to people who work in the industry where we have the program in certain states.
And starting with students, these might be people who may not have access to them elsewhere, coming from their background, wherever they may be coming from.
Right, and this is specifically for people who work in food and beverage. So we're really happy that our partners coming through universities, they're aware of the challenges that people in the industry are facing. So they're really able to provide that counseling based on what the industry experiences, not what people outside of the industry experience.
I feel like one of the silver linings of the pandemic was that some of these needs really rose to the surface, because when it comes to food and beverage workers, anytime we're hungry, we expect a restaurant will be there for us, right? I mean, we, all of us collectively. And I think many of us took food and beverage workers for granted before the pandemic, but because many folks are shift workers, they're making hourly wages, perhaps they don't have adequate insurance, if any insurance at all. Can you sort of demonstrate the need, the special needs that our food and beverage workers have that many people don't?
I mean, it's all across the spectrum, right? Because most of the time, the food and beverage industry is a passion game, really, or it's a need, but it's generally paycheck to paycheck. There's not a lot of savings right off the bat. I mean, 20, 30 years into it, maybe so, but like it's the younger generation, the generation that's there, that's been working there, that needs the help. And I think that when we got into the pandemic, people realized, I can't deal without it, right? All of a sudden, people had to learn how to cook. And it wasn't real pretty for a lot of people, I don't think. And you know, but also, you know, staff not being able to work changed that. And you know, you got put into financial crisis, and then you get into a mental crisis because it's a snowball effect, right? And so we wanted to be there to help on both sides because financially we can get people out of their need, but all of the time that they were fighting with that, they learned that like there's a struggle elsewhere too.
The emotional
Yeah,
scars.
and so it's those are the things that we want to make sure that when you go to a restaurant that you can know that like the server or the cook, they can work clear, that they can work with a clear head, that they can understand that there's somebody there for them, and that's kind of our goal.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. For those who don't know, and you guys are doing something pretty special, Million for Mental Health campaign. Let's talk about it.
We are very excited. It's the first effort of this kind at our organization of this size. So the reason behind it is it will cost Southern Smoke roughly $1 million to provide these services to the food and beverage industry in the states we exist. So this only includes where we're at now, the expansions that were about to happen throughout the next couple of months and the states that we exist in. So we need that $1 million to make sure that we can sustain the program, and then everything that we raise on top of that will allow us to grow the program, to provide services in other states. We're expanding Texas through this program. It'll be our second university. We're really excited. We've provided over 4,800 no-cost services to date. 3,000 of those counseling sessions have gone out to Texans.
It's amazing.
It's
And you guys are expanding, we just heard today.
Yeah, because right now we're in Texas, Louisiana, California, Illinois, and New York, and this year we have 2 universities in New York. We're expanding to a third, and we're expanding to a second in Texas, and then
We launch Maine, Massachusetts, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and Washington, D.C.
It's all over the map, yeah.
It's so incredible, and it all started here. Chris, when you started this, could you have imagined this expansion? Was that the goal?
No, I wanted to throw a party for a friend and raise some money for the MS Society. And then, you realize that you have the opportunity in the food and beverage industry to, people are always asking restaurants for something. Well, now who's going to take care of us? And that was where it really went to, is who's going to take care of our industry? And there's a lot of people out there doing it, but just not in the same ways that we're doing it. And I think that, this being a Houston organization and starting here, it's good to see people really coming together for it.
$1 million question. $1 million question.
Nice.
How can viewers participate?
Great. So we have a lot of different establishments in town who are doing different specials to help us. They're going to donate whatever proceeds come in. So definitely check out our website, southernsmoke.org. Follow us on Instagram, and a lot of these places will be highlighted. Of course, Rebecca, somewhere around here, will tell you more about what she's doing.
Yeah.
I know, just top of mind, Winnie's, Rosie Cannonball. There's so many places in town that are supporting us through this effort. It costs roughly $1,000 for one individual to go through our program. So every dollar counts. Houston, check our website, see where to go. You can order stuff online. Support us in any way that you can.
But it's also, you can just go to the website and check it out and see what we're doing and just help through that. You don't necessarily have to always go out, but you can just help however you can. And, I always say that you can, when you're at the restaurant, you may not know what's going on with people.
So true.
And you probably will never know. And our industry, the food and beverage industry, is pretty selfless. So they don't want much, but they need a lot more than they actually think they do.
For sure.
And they're always there for us.
Yeah.
I mean, this is such just a basic, simple idea that many people have never even considered before.
They're the first people to feed you for your engagements, your business closings, or when you need something, or when there is a catastrophe. They're the ones that are there feeding people automatically. And so at some point we need to make sure we're taking care of those people that are taking care of us.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's a great idea.
Kat, Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't worry, the party is going to continue with Rebecca Masson from Fluff Beef Bar. We'll get to that in just a moment. We have posted a link, by the way, to the complete list of participating restaurants on our website. Just check out the Scene on Houston Life section of HoustonLife.tv.